shots, nice shots. So we're moving in now to the TaylorMade RSi 1 irons.
Yeah.
With Rob Potter, 13 handicap. That was a nice little start, 139 carry. And you've been excited for these ones, haven't you?
I have. I've been a little bit giddy on them. As my friends know at TaylorMade, I don't think by choice.
You gave him a hard time.
I did. I gave him a bit of a hard time, don't I, with the technology.
That's what people want to see.
These are another one where I've not looked at it that it's a gimmick, but this whole slot thing down the side.
Face slots.
Face slots and the speed slot at the base. You know, it's more slots than somebody nicking yourself with a razor blade. That's the way I looked at it. But, I know, it's just a bad cutthroat. Interested me. They were saying that there's a bit more forgiveness in them, there's length in them, that they're going for the mid-handicapper and low-handicapper. So they're hitting 2 markets instead of all the 3.
Yeah.
So
we've got 3 range of these though. We've got RSi 1, RSi 2 and RSi TP now.
Well, they've got TPs.
We've got TPs now. So this is,
right.
But it's interesting though, because it's interesting to hear what their marketing has aimed it for.
Yeah.
So it's for that kind of mid, slightly more higher handicapper. Then you've got the RSi 2.
Yeah.
So, but when tested, these are long.
Yeah. These
long, and that's what we're after with Rob. We're after some length.
Yeah.
If we've not checked him out already, 13 handicapper, wanting to get down single figures this year, and we're doing some kind of just hitting some shots. These are completely off the shelf.
Yeah.
Stiff flex, no lie angles adjusted at all. 7 iron. Should we give it another smash?
Yes. Yes.
So about 135 is Rob's average carry for a 7.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see what this does now. Let's see if we hit some more with this bad boy.
Okay. It looks really nice as you're looking down on the face. Again, it's a little bit chunkier than what the Nikes were. A bit like the Nike, the first Nike
Speed one.
The Speed one, yeah. It's about as chunky as that first Nike one. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Nice shot. Lovely hit.
That feels nice.
Very nice hit. Well, it's carried further. Both of those two have carried so far further. 142 carry. Now,
and it's roughly the same on the mile an hour for the clubhead speeds.
Yeah, miles per hour is 100.
I'm not giving it beans here,
No,
lads.
you're not hitting that harder.
Guys and girls. No, I'm really not.
What would you put it down to then? What would you put it down to? Why has that gone further?
Well, TaylorMade quite possibly pulled another rabbit out of the hat.
Okay.
You know, this slot performance stuff. I just spotted the slot at the back.
That's a ball. That's a through ball.
Oh.
It's actually that's all the way through.
Oh right, so it's a through ball. Right, okay, I didn't know that. So that's different.
So it's got them in the face.
Yeah.
They go all the way through. And in the bottom it goes all the way through.
It's kind of like what some of the other manufacturers are doing with the 360 cavity slots, aren't they, around the back
that's
end?
Right, yeah.
This is the TaylorMade's version of it. And it's right on the sweet spot area.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you bothered about this is a 7 iron?
Yeah.
Are you bothered at all about loft?
No, to be fair, I don't really see that. All right, that's going to come with a lot of criticism.
I'm just asking if that'd be interesting to hear.
That I already know that's going to come back with a lot of criticism. When I'm looking at irons, I'm not bothered what the lofts are per se. I don't think about them. If somebody says to me, these irons have been brought out, they're a stronger loft, so they'll go further, then that's always going to be in your head. If you're just pulling out, I'm not bothered what anybody says, you pull out an iron off a shelf, you're not going to look down at it and go, you know what, looking at this is a stronger loft than what my other 7 iron is. You're never going to think that.
You'd be good if you could.
Yeah, you know, if you're doing that, then I'm sorry, but you've got eyes like a crap house rat. Simple as that. I know you're monkeys, what you say. So, yeah, I don't really see that. I've got to admit, with the manufacturers that I'm using at the moment, the Callaway irons I've used, over time I've looked at what the lofts have been. Yeah. But I look at the lofts for when I'm going down to the wedges, because as you know, I don't go with stock the set wedges. I go then with specialised wedges after that. That's just something I've always done. So yeah, I don't really see it.
It's interesting. I just want to hear your thoughts. And you know, the 7 iron is a 7 iron.
Yeah.
And if the loft on this will be stronger than your Callaway.
Yeah.
But you have to search quite deep for the loft these days. They're not advertising the loft really full out. So if you go on their website, you can find it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Tell you what, we've got to do some scrolling.
I'll tell you something that was interesting. I must admit, I do like the idea with lofts and irons. The I know there's a manufacturer out at the moment, I think you've reviewed them, it's the Hogan ones.
Yeah, the Ben
where
Hogans.
it's just the lofts that are on the base of the club and not what the iron number is.
That's causing a lot of controversy at the moment.
I don't think there's any controversy about it. I think it's really cheeky.
You should see the comments. It's just a lot of controversy.
It's ridiculous. I don't see the point in that. Just find something else to complain about, please. But what I like, my first proper set of irons was on about with the other irons I've had before. I finally got a set of irons that was just one manufacturer instead of Solex, Slazenger, Wilson, all in one bag. And I got a set of Titleist DTRs, distance through research, that was the DTR what it stood for. Now that had the number on it and the loft.
Okay.
Now, I actually kind of missed that. When I went then from the DTRs, I went to, I think it was the 981s or the 962s, one of the, I can't remember which set it was, in 99, which I know that because I've just found the receipt. That then went just to what the actual number for the iron was and not loft, so I kind of felt a little bit lost because I didn't have it. I do like the idea of having the lofts and the number of the iron on it. That's
nice
quite
point.
good.
Nice point.
Especially if you do start getting better and you want to start gapping your irons, or you want to put in your hybrids.
Yeah, and
you
your wedges.
know what swap. Yeah.
And your wedges.
That was the thing when I swapped for the hybrid to my iron, when I've got rid of my other hybrids recently, and I went to a specialised hybrid and then going down to an iron, I wanted to know what the gapping was. Yeah. So I knew what was what. So that's just me anyway.
So currently doing so good. This 7 iron is doing very good.
Yeah, yeah, I like this. It feels really, really nice off the face, but there's still feel off it. You still know you're hitting a golf ball, which is a good thing.
Oh. That flight's just different class. Now, I don't know if you caught this, Rob. At the start of the year, I put these as my top 10.
You did.
Number 1.
You did.
At the top 10, and there was research behind that. That wasn't just a decision I made off heart. Because everyone that's hit these have hit them better, hit them further. What I found, anyway. And that seems to be the case there. Let's hit a couple more.
Well, as a comparison, Callaway Big Bertha was trying to go, this is the longest iron, up to 2 irons longer per club. Yeah. As Callaway know, I do like the Callaway stuff. Sorry guys, but that's bigger.
You've got another new Callaway here.
I've asked for another new. I've asked for the new Callaway. Yeah, that'll come a little later. But I purposely asked for that.
So if Rob changes his mind in about 3 videos' time, that's why.
But in comparison to the Big Bertha, this is longer. From the test that we actually did as well, if you remember.
I can't remember how far you were carrying that.
We carried that. I think it was 143, and then we did the challenge at the 9th hole at the Belfry, and I bunkered it.
You hit it. That was great. Look at those flights.
Again, that's like what the Nike flight was.
A little bit short, that one.
A little bit short, yeah.
Now, I don't want to force you to miss hit one because that would be unfair. No. Did that feel? Because what's the point? You know, we're not forcing miss hits to happen here.
No,
that's not the tagline. It's miss hits happen. It's not forced miss hits.
Yeah, that's true.
So just hit me 2. Give me 2 more, and let's just see if a miss hit did happen. What would happen? Let's go for it. 2 shots. Let's see if a miss hit happens. What happens?
Okay. I know how to miss it. So
don't miss it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Not on purpose. Nice shot. It's gone right, but that wasn't a miss hit.
No.
Nice shot. Okay, one more. Nice carry.
And that's with a fade.
That's with a little pushy fade, which was still carrying 138.
138. That's
one more. You've had one scrappy one in there that carried 131. That's brought your averages down quite heavily.
That's where I felt I came up on the shot. A fault of mine, guys. I do come up on the shots a little bit sometimes, so I don't always hit the bottom of the ball.
Yeah.
That was one where
So really,
I've not hit the bottom.
Speed slot should have helped you.
Yes.
Should have helped you.
In theory.
It did a little bit. But
yeah, a little bit.
Not a lot. That was a misstruck.
That was a miss strike, yeah.
Brilliant. Perfectly timed, Rob.
One miss try.
About 130 was that? Carry? I didn't just miss that.
Well,
125.
I just thought of my ex and hit it fat. That's my case.
Wow. So that was a miss shot, miss hit shot, fat shot.
Wasn't on purpose.
No, we didn't. We could have hit another 5 or 6 there. So you did get punished a bit there. So I think when it's struck, that's longer. Let's pull up the average. Let's pull up the numbers. Pull up the numbers and have a look. How did it feel?
Oh, the club feels really, really nice. God's honest truth, TaylorMade. That's a really, really nice, impressive game improvement iron. For the higher mid handicapper pushing down,
Yes.
So I'd say maybe 18s going down the way, an RSi wouldn't be a bad.
Not at all.
An RSi 1 wouldn't be a bad option for
So
you.
I've got the RSi 2 here, ready and waiting for you on the next review. Let's have a look at the numbers. So, if we look at the top 3 first, those were all average carrying further. They were carrying on average 140 yards. The top 3. Club head speed did not change. Ball speed did increase to over 100 miles per hour. So they've gone longer.
Yeah.
They've gone a little bit further to the right, but that could also be down to yourself. Then we hit 2 bad ones in the next 3. We hit one at 131 and one at 124. They were really bad struck. Well, the 131 wasn't horrendous, but the 124 was really bad.
Yeah.
And you can see then how much distance you're dropping. You are going to drop a bit on misstruck shots, certainly from the heavy one you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose you are with any club, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. I mean, the ones that went to the right, like I said, the distances weren't overly bad, and they were just a bad swing, guys. They were genuinely, it didn't feel the best swing in the world.
So, all the club head data is there on the right-hand side as well. I'm going to leave that up there so you can actually see where the strike location happened. That's all on there on the right-hand side. The horizontal impact, the vertical impact, you can check all that out. I'm going to leave that for you guys just to decide and have a look through it. You know, that's down to you if you want to have a look at that. Rob, out of 10.
That's going definitely, that's an 8.5.
8.5?
8.5. 8.5 pushing towards the 9 factor.
Because of distance?
Distance, but the feel, it just feels a really nice golf club. Genuinely does feel a nice club to hit. And I like the look of it. It's actually a classy looking club.
Okay.
Really classy looking club. And there's no gimmicks in terms of, oh, this is the colour save. You know, whatever it is they're going to come up with. You know.
Naming no names.
Naming no names.
And the face slots, you're pleased with them?
Yeah, the face slot, this thing at the side, when I first saw it, I'll be honest with you, sorry if this is going on a little bit, I was actually bothered they said the face slot was going to be like a cavity in the face, and I thought, well, that's going to be an absolute pain in the posterior, because amateurs don't, in fact, sorry, I'll tell you, professionals I've actually caddied for in the last couple of years don't clean clubs, right?
I don't clean
them. It's a bane of my existence, especially for a caddy. And I thought these speed slots were actually dug out. So bearing in mind that
they were like grooves.
They were like grooves, yeah. That's what I thought the speed slot was going to be. I didn't know they was actually filled in. So that I thought was going to be an issue. Over time, who knows? Those speed slots may become an issue if you do start towing them and healing them.
If you're doing that much, you need some
lessons. You need some serious lessons. Rick Shield is available. You know, so yeah. But looking at it, some people won't like the look of the speed slots. They won't like them straight away. That'll be a distraction for them. But for me, I'm not really bothered.
There you go.
Fine.
So 8.5, highest rating so far. We're going to move on now to the TaylorMade RSi 2. It's a smaller version, a bit like the Nike Vapor Pro combos that we tested, slightly smaller, still got the face slots, not as pronounced. Let's see how this performs in the hands of Mr. Rob Potter. Do check him out as always on Twitter. Do subscribe to my channel by clicking the link below. Do comment. Rob will be on there replying to as many comments as he can. Yeah. I'm sure that's all he does. And then you can ask him as many questions as you want. Be nice to him. That's gone further, I would say.
Yeah.
I think over time, once you got a bit more practice with that would be a consistent longer iron.
Yes,
but that's
definitely.
Currently hit your furthest distance so far, 143 carry.
Yep.
Good work. RSi 2. Let's do it next.
Thank you.